G'day, I'm Jack LeBrock. I'm really excited to be racing the Australian GT Championship this weekend. Yesterday was basically my first day in the cars here at Phillip Island. I just did lots of winter last weekend. They're great cars and quite fast.
The issue of Mitsubishi Eclipse was more waiting for parts, and then we did the upgrade to the 2013 spec, which allowed basically for a larger front tyre.
It's a really nice car, and this upgrade has made it a bit easier to set up. It's a bit more neutral now, so it's nice. It's really nice to drive.
I'm enjoying it a lot. Very fast flowing corners, more grip than actually expected. We're getting faster and faster. Fortunately, Dad is beating me at the moment, so he's very happy with that. It is a small margin, but everything counts.
I have to say, I love it. I can't believe you're going through some of these turns full throttle. It's crazy.
Qualifying, and we're pretty happy. We tried something a little bit different, a bit of a PB for me, and I think we're in P7 for race 1, so happy all round.
Tyres went up to temperature, so I came over Lukey Heights on about the third lap and had a little lock up and had a little off, and yeah, that was exciting, hoping not to hit the wall, which we didn't, which was good. So we went back out and did the pressures again, put a good lap in and bagged that, and we sort of said, well, that's enough, and we'll go from there.
Benny beat me by 0.4 of a second, but it's still early days, so I've got a strategy that will pick up that and some. I have got a little bit more horsepower than him, but he's already making up a mechanical fault with the car. He's sort of claiming a fuel surge or something, so that's probably to open the door in case he gets pinged by the old man.
You're an asshole. Every bit of that.
I'm going quicker than I ever have done, and I guess just finding the limits of the grip out there. Well done to Jack LeBrock, like he's going super quick. 1:26.5 is a very fast time.
I think everyone's going to find that, unlike in previous years, in the second half of the race the tyres are going to be in just as good nick as they were in the first half. So you're not going to see the drop off in times either. I think they're going to be going just as fast at the end as they were at the beginning.
I had a good qualifying. We did 1 minute 26.5, and now we're about to jump in the car for race 1.
Very excited, eager to get in the car and get warm and battle hard with the other boys for an hour. We're about to go out in car number 6, the Squirk Audi R8 LMS, and James Winslow's starting the race today. He hasn't done a rolling start for a while, so we're just keen to see that he gets that off the line fast, and then we're very confident where he'll come in.
I started in that one. It was good. We kept all the other Janettas behind us before the pit stop. I was lucky enough to get my big body out of the car in a hurry to let Jack in to do a sensational job for the finish.
It was a good effort. It's a team sport. Griffo held his end of the bargain, and then I had to as well. There was a bit of pressure there. Good pit stop, and the car ran well, so we're pretty happy, eh?
Yeah, mate, sensational.
Yeah, the race is quite interesting. I've never done a race over basically 20 minutes. Just put my head down and got into a rhythm, and just kept on pounding around, and yeah, to be careful of the traffic and whatnot. But yeah, it was a great race. Had fun. Having John behind me at the start, it was pretty cool to have him right on my bumper. So we struggled with the full fuel load a little bit. I've never driven the car with that before, so something new for me.
Lego fluffed the start a bit, and so left us 3 to get away. And then Millen spun off. I thought it was going to be a safety car, so I kind of backed off, waiting for the safety car, but it never came. So I probably lost a bit of ground there. But anyway, it was fine. I was quite happy. To be fair, the Aston, even the old Aston, love this circuit, so I think it's just Aston territory.
I got a bad start because I didn't realise it was only green flag and not green light, so I was waiting for the green light, everyone else has taken off, got into a rhythm, but then I had the Addy behind me and I knew he didn't have the pace to get around me, so I just kept into a rhythm, came into the pits, came back out, then I saw I was catching Tony, so I tried to catch him, but he finished in front, but all in all, pretty happy with third, and see how we go tomorrow.
I came out of the pits behind Tony, was sort of on the chase, and Roger grabbed me, which was okay, and then sort of managed to hang off to the back of him, hit a bit of traffic, and it's just good fun out there.
But, unfortunately, about 12 minutes to go, I got a flat tyre and I had to drive very slowly to make it back in the pits and change the tyre. And after that, I was just pacing around. I think we ended up 7th for the race. At least we salvaged some points from a bad race.
Yeah, it was an exciting race. The beginning was a bit of a worry when we took off. I think I actually changed gear one too many times, so the pack in front of me actually moved on without me. So I had to scramble for a few laps just to try to catch up to the main pack, but eventually got there. And then I handed the car to Andrew McGuinness around halfway mark. He did a great job, and we finished overall 5th. And the first Audi across the line, so we're pretty happy.
Well, here we are, Phillip Island, day 2, second race. Fantastically warm day down at Phillip Island, just like yesterday. Looking forward to the race. The sun's out. It's going to be a great day.
Today it is Sunday and it's nice and wet. Never driven the track before on the wet. Realistically, no real experience in the wet either in these cars, so should be good fun. Looking forward to it.
Pretty fresh, pretty cold, and the track's wet, so we're going out for a 10-minute warm-up session. We'll see how it goes. It looks pretty slippery.
An error coming onto the straight there. Tried to save it, but unfortunately backed it into the wall. Didn't do any mechanical damage, but it was mainly superficial. Boys worked into the night quite late, cutting and fabricating, and doing a bit of TIG welding, and got it back together. So we just did our practice set. The car's good, we're ready for race 2.
We've still got about an hour to go, and obviously it was wet this morning, so we went out on wets and did okay, and now the track's starting to dry out, so we'll reassess in another hour and see whether we go wet tyres or whether we throw a set of slicks on and go the whole race on slicks.
Well, we're just waiting to see what the weather does and whether it changes, so we'll sort of make that decision just before we go out. So at this stage on wets, I think, so yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
It's really borderline at the moment. There's a dry line, but if you're on slicks and you get off the dry line, you're in a lot of trouble. So we're just in between and tossing the coin, and I'd say the car will be on the stands for the last couple of minutes.
Starter and away they go. That Merc slows the field right now, and it is a great tactic.
Great race for us. We started off well and had basically led from start to finish, and Tony was quite quick at the start there. He was hanging on for the first few laps, and it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, so good job Tony. But yeah, it's a great race and the boys did a great job.
You know, it's great to see that there's so many different models of cars and variety of cars and driver standards and time penalties and stuff, and to be honest, it looks as if it kind of works out in the end of the weekend for everybody, and you know, those that try hardest or the cars are more suitable seem to do well. I mean, Clark's had a great improvement over the weekend. held off John Bow for a good 10 minutes, which is really cool, and they were catching me.
We had Barry behind us for the last half of that race, and I knew he was closing after coming out of the pits, but I put on new tyres, which made me slow the first couple of laps coming out. And once I got some traction and heat in the rear tyres, I knew I had the pace. But I didn't actually think I'd be able to keep Barry behind me, but we managed to keep him out for the full 12 laps.
So I've had a few races over the last couple of years with Mark, and he's a really good driver. You know, he's fair, but he's quite hard, he's quick, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, I would have liked it more to get past him, but it was good fun and a good race. You can't have better than that with a good driver.
The start was really good. I enjoyed the first session. My job was to bring the car home clear and sort of in the same position as we were, so then hand it over to James.
Yeah, it was a good race from my point of view as well. Jumped in. I didn't really know what position I was in. I was just overtaking as many cars as I could, as quickly as I could. Squirt.com.au, how the R8 was flying. I think we got the second or third quickest lap time of the race as well.
It was a lot of fun. Had a great tussle off the line. George got a bit of a run on me, and we still continued to dice further on. Bomb diving on turn 9, then he got me down the straight. Then a couple of laps later, had an absolute ball.
It was a good battle actually, and of course my focus shifted to Venice on turn 1. As soon as I saw the carnage, I was fingers crossed that he was going to stay out, and he did a great job steering out of it. But yeah, it was a really good tussle, and unfortunately his fastest lap time was a fraction faster than mine, so that means there's still a bit left in it.
I got a good start, headed to turn 1 with, I kept my position at turn 1, came off the throttle, and unfortunately the throttle stayed wide open, so that was a pretty exciting few seconds there in turn 1 doing 360s.
Fantastic result. First in class, 10th overall today, 8th overall yesterday. It's been a great time. Jack Perkins driving the car was sensational. I got to learn a lot of good points, and we've had a bit of fun as a couple of friends, so all very good.
I hadn't had any experience with Pirellis before, but we used the same set for both races because it looked a bit damp for the beginning, and the other tyres we had were green, so we didn't want to start on those. And yeah, they hung in. It was fantastic, and in fact the lap times improved as we went through the race, so couldn't be happier.
We really enjoy driving the Audi this year. We're coming to grips with it, in fact how fast it is around corners, particularly here at Phillip Island. This car, as with others, have really meshed with this track, particularly with the new surface. They just go so fast. So we think Sydney Motorsport Park will be just the same. It's a very similar track to Phillip Island in that it's got very fast sweeping corners. We think all the cars in the championship will be suited to that track as well. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a good race.
I found both bits, and I know it's expensive because it's got a part code on it. It was probably, I'd hate to think how much they'll be able to glue it back together now. I'm a happy man.